what did you learn growing up? What did you learn about basic economics as a child, as a young person, as a young adult, as a young married couple? And it comes down to you cannot spend that which you do not have. And certainly when we look at budgets, one of the biggest parts of a budget, balancing a budget, is based on revenues. What do we have coming in? Well, we've certainly looked at a downturn the last couple years, and so whatever the actuaries had predicted was going to happen, whether it was a 7 or 8% growth, whatever they thought it was going to grow at, and all of a sudden it stops growing. Well, we don't have those revenues. So you've got to, I think in any budget, I know in my business, we always look at a worst case scenario and then work from there on, as opposed to, oh, things are great, they're going to stay great. No, that doesn't work, my friend. You better realize, first of all, where are you solid, where are you marginal, where are you weak? So, we keep talking about these things, and there's no magic to this. What it takes really is a strong stomach, the ability to come up with a plan that makes sense, and then sticking to your plan.
Should we raise taxes in Pennsylvania? We have a very low income tax in this state, something like 7 to 9% in New York State. Boy, wouldn't it be great if we went to 4% here? Maybe that would cover a multitude of problems. I don't know. Should we raise? I'm going to ask you, should we raise taxes? That'd be a biting question, but should we consider upping the ante? Do we need more money from our citizens in order to run the state? And are we running lean at such a low income tax or state tax?
Well, I think the problem is not that we need to raise taxes. We need to cut spending. Certainly the reason you would have to raise taxes is because the revenues that we thought were going to come in, the taxes that we were going to raise based on profits were going to be very, very significant. And we're finding out now is you raise taxes, what you do is you increase somebody's cost of living every time you raise taxes. And so certainly when you do it to a business, you're putting an extra expense on that business. And I don't care whether they make something or sell something. You're increasing their cost of operation. When you get to a situation where you don't have the ability to churn revenue, your costs are out of control. And that's what's happened. We don't have the income, but we still have the expense. So these two lines have crossed each other right now. And we have this false belief that, well, we'll just keep taxing people. Well, the more you tax people, that means the less they have in their pocket, then the less they have in their bank account to go ahead and make purchases. And when people stop purchasing, certainly the people that manufacture things don't have to manufacture something that's not being bought at the retail level. So it's kind of a vicious circle. It's like a dog chasing its tail. We got to do, first of all, you got to stop the spending. If it's not sustainable, stop doing it.
That's it. As you eye that congressional seat, there'll be big issues to talk about. And one of the biggest issues across the United States is our consumption of energy. And we are going to be coming. And now you look at the Gulf, and thousands upon thousands of barrels are flowing into the Gulf. I mean, what are your thoughts on energy? What's your philosophy in that area? And what should Pennsylvania do? And as a congressional candidate, and if you get to Congress, what would you do? What is your philosophy? What's your thoughts on energy and what we should do relative to our consumption of or whatever?
Well, there's a lot of alternative energies out there, and the question comes down to at what point do you look at alternative energies and at what cost do they have to us? Certainly, oil has always been the one that's the most affordable, and we look at the byproducts from oil, and certainly it would be very difficult to say that we need to stop relying on oil because that really is the backbone to all the energy right now that we have. From a federal standpoint, And all these things dovetail. I know as I've run up and down the district when we were running in the primary, I've been interested to find that there is very little cooperation or synergy between federal and state folks, between municipalities and federal people. My question would always go back to what can we do to work together to make it better for the people in the district and make it better for people in the country. Now, in Pennsylvania, in certain areas, we have this Marcellus shale, this natural gas that is about 5,000 to 7,000 feet below the surface. Now, that whole pocket of gas